What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You're probably saying, an import on Hot Rod Heaven? What are we doing? Well, this is my boy Dean's car. It's a 1996 Nissan Z, aka the Devil Z. He's done a lot with this car. He's done drag and drives. He continuously races this thing and wins. I gotta show some love to my boy, even if it's an import. So I'm gonna grab Dean so he can tell you a little bit more about this ride here. All right, Dean, so tell us a little bit about the ride and how you even ended up with this thing.
So I started off with a 1992 four-seater 300ZX. Did some work to it when I got back from Afghanistan. It made 666, and that's how I got the Devil Z name. My brother-in-law was there, and he was like, hey, that's the Devil Z. So the name kind of stuck. I did a lot of roll racing back then. Was on the Rumble Racing, did a good bit of that. I was actually leaving my Uncle Keith's funeral, and that car got T-boned. It destroyed the car. It just really wasn't worth saving. It was just too much. A buddy, Philip Ziner of mine, had another four-seater Z, and I was able to get that from him and swap everything into that, and ran that for a little while. That car did good, but the four-seaters are just heavy. My brother found this slick top, and they're kind of rare. It's a two-seater. We swapped everything from that car into this one. Just had to shorten the drive shaft, a couple things. It dropped 320 pounds total, and then I've had this one, and it's been running great ever since.
What even made you want to get into the import world? Because I mean, with Uncle Keith, he's a hot rod guy. Like everybody we were around were always classic hot rods. Like why the imports?
I don't know. It's like, what's crazy is when I was first looking into when I could afford to get my own car, I really liked like a Grand Nationals and stuff like that. But for some reason, even as a kid, I think Gran Turismo kind of got me into it. And I seen the 300ZX, and it kind of just always stuck on me. At the time, I was able to afford a Z over a Grand National because the Grand National was kind of expensive. But once I got into it, I kind of just loved the cockpit, how everything's designed in it. It's just kind of cool, man. And my Uncle Keith used to give me crap about getting an import all the time, but I don't know, I kind of liked them. It's different. You don't really see them. Yeah,
it is cool. It's like hanging around us, my dad, and Justin, it's like we got all muscle cars, you know, and it's funny. You're like the lone import in the group. So.
Yeah, especially in this area, you know, it's like you just don't see very many imports.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild, but I don't know, I love the car, just everything about it, just having it. I don't know, I kind of just got addicted to them now.
And now your wife has one, and your brother also has one too, so. Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny. It kind of now it runs in the family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like they kind of seen the potential that the cars really have. You know, they just kind of were never really looked at. Everybody was kind of all about the Supras and the Skylines and stuff, and the Zs kind of got put on the back burner. But now people are starting to see the potential of them. So
yeah, I think honestly, and not to toot your horn or anything, but and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you've kind of put the Z on the map because, like you said, you see the Supras and you see the GTRs or whatever. It's like I really do think that you've influenced a lot on these cars, which is cool.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, like there's other guys that had started it and they raced for a little while, but they just didn't run long enough, I think, to really put it on the map. There's definitely guys that paved the way for me. I seen them on YouTube. Like Specialty Z, they had a car, Bane, which he's still around, but it's sold to a different guy. Those guys I watched YouTube and kind of got me motivated to want to be faster than them, but I just consistently race, and I think that's kind of what got the Z on the map.
Tell us a little bit about the setup that you have.
All right, so this is the VG30 that comes in it. VG30DE is what they call it. And this was actually a non-turbo block, but all the blocks are the same. It's got pistons, rods. This one actually has sleeves by Maximum Machine Works out of Longwood, Florida. It's got billet mains. It's got a custom intake setup from Merlin Machining and custom valve covers, GTR R35 coil packs, a complete turbo kit from Robbie at Row Build Performance and Fab. It's got a Pulsar 7682 on it. It's got a Turbo 400 transmission, and it's actually got a Ford 88 IRS diff out of Expedition in the back of it with drive shaft shop axles.
What kind of horsepower are you pushing out on this thing?
The last time it was on the dyno, it made 1,085
Jeez.
On just boost. I'll spray a 75 shot to it sometimes, so maybe almost 1,200.
That's
on
crazy.
Spray if I had to guess.
And it's a little 6-cylinder, right?
Yeah, it's still just a factory 3-liter. It's not no stroker kit or nothing like that. Stock bore size and everything, just sleeved and all that.
And what's like the fastest time that you've had on this?
Actually at Florida 2K, it went an 815 at 168, which is crazy because it only went a 525 to the 8th. I've actually been a 517 to the 8th, but I let out early because at the track I was at, the shutdown was kind of crappy and I didn't have time. I knew I wouldn't have time to slow down. So it might have been an 8.0 pass on that one, who knows?
This guy races probably more than anybody that I know. You are consistently at the track. And honestly, I think a few months ago, I even saw you down at Speed World for a no prep race.
Yeah,
so you do all sorts of racing with this thing, drag and drives, no preps. Like, what are your plans with this car for the future?
Honestly, like, I'd like to touch a 7. it might be a little harder than I think. I'm always between that spot of how fast can I go while keeping it somewhat reliable, because I like to kind of do everything. Like really, if there's a track that's open, I'm racing. It doesn't matter if it's backside, front side, no prep. It doesn't really matter. Drag and drives, like car shows, street stuff, anything, you know. The only downside is you get too fast into the sevens, the converter's got to be tight for it, which makes it harder on no prep. Really, my biggest thing is just to keep racing and trying to win. I mean, I care more about winning than I do times. I know it's kind of the opposite of some people, but I don't know, I'm just a competitive person that I don't like losing. And honestly, just being competitive kind of brings the times along with it. You know, like you're trying to win, you got to get faster to be competitive, and the times kind of come with it.
Yeah, it's the nature of the beast. A little backstory is like, Dean, he grew up racing quarter midgets. I grew up racing dirt bikes, so we've been competitive since we were little.
Yeah.
So it's like it kind of never goes away either.
Like
so.
it gets kind of in you at that point, you know.
Also, tell us a little bit about the color. When he painted this thing, I don't know if you've seen my Maverick video, but I have a 1973 Maverick that's similar in this color. I'm like, oh man, now somebody's got a color similar to me, but the story behind the color is pretty sick. So tell us a little bit behind that.
Yeah, so I actually had a Dodge Destroyer Gray that I was initially wanting to do the car, and I had it for a while, but then I started seeing more graysy. So my old job, one of the old trash trucks, got into a wreck. So we had to paint the front of the truck and do all that stuff, and we had leftover paint from the trash truck, and it's called Atlantic Waste Tan. So I ended up asking the owner, I was like, hey, can I use the rest of that paint and just paint my car? He goes, yeah, just, you know, do it off the clock and stuff. You could use the bay where we repair and paint the cans. So one Friday night, we literally just put it in the bay. Me and the 4 of the other guys that worked there just started sanding down. My wife brought us pizza and stuff, and we sanded it, painted it, and I came and picked it up that Sunday and drove it home. So it's literally just a trash truck color.
Dude, I think it's awesome, man. And honestly, it turned out great.
Yeah,
dude.
and it's like, what really made me stick on it is you just don't see Z's this color.
No, for
sure.
sure.
Like I got that, just the grays, whites, blacks are kind of all, and they look good, no doubt, but I just want to be a little different.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I don't think you really see many cars in general with this color.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, dang, like
even
the cream puff, yeah.
This,
honestly, it fits the car so well, and it just adds more to the uniqueness. I kind of like
the lighter colors too, because it shows the body lines and stuff. You know what I mean? Like you get a dark color, it kind of hides that stuff.
It fits well with the black wheels and everything. Speaking of the wheels, can you tell me a little bit about the wheel setup that you have?
Yeah, so the fronts are 15 by 3.5, 175 backspace, and then I have to use a spacer because I still run the factory front brakes and they're pretty thick. And then the back, I'm running a 15 by 8, 6-inch backspacing, and I'm actually using the Import Drag Solutions brake package. It's a Willwood setup because the factory brakes on the rear are kind of bulky as well, and they wouldn't have fit with those wheels.
As far as suspension goes, can you tell us what you're running? Because I know it's a track setup, but it still drives super good on the street. So what do you got going on there?
So on the front, actually all the way around, I'm running the Import Drag Solutions shock package. The front is a 175-pound spring, and then the rear is actually, I've ended up all the way up to like a 550-pound. It just seems like the higher I go, the better it gets for an IRS car. Because it just like seems like when it squats, it kind of messes up the geometry of everything. I don't know why, but every time I went stiffer, the cars liked it.
Well, let's open up the doors and let's talk about the interior a little bit on here.
So the interior, it's probably dirty because we were just out in the dirt, but it's all factory interior besides the Kirky seats. And that was mainly because when I have a helmet on and all that, my head actually hits the roof. The factory seats are nice, they're just bulky, I guess. And honestly, I needed it for the harness and all that as well. I don't have the door bars in, but it normally has the door bars and all that for a 6-point.
And you put the cage in there yourself, or?
Actually, when I was on the Netflix series Fastest Car, they ended up paying for the cage.
Oh, really?
So they asked me how I wanted it done. I wanted the door bars and all that stuff, and Randy Carter, a local guy of us, actually did it. And then Netflix sent us a person to come and certify the cage because it had to be certified for the show.
Dude,
and that's kind of how I got the cage, so they paid for all that.
That is fire.
So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they got the cage,
sick.
The harness, pretty much anything safety you need. Like if your helmet's out of date, they'll pay for all that.
Wow.
To make sure that you're within
good
the standards.
for production.
Yeah. After the cage was put in, we started doing no prep, and they said that you can't run the weight outside the vehicle no more because I used to just run on the parachute. So I ended up welding on these 2 pipes right here. So I actually have 100-pound plates, and I just put a couple 100-pound plates here to kind of help with the rear bias on the no prep stuff.
And then I know that this was a stick shift before. What kind of made you want to go to the automatic?
So it was a stick shift for a long time, and it did great for roll racing, but like on digs and stuff, I think I killed like 5 of them. I really tried. I even bought, like, they had a 98 J-Spec, because in the US, he stopped in 96, so this is the last year for the US model, but they made them all in 99 in Japan. So 98, they came out with some new ones, and I tried that one, and honestly, that one got killed faster than the other ones.
Wow.
So I was just, at the time, they didn't really have any aftermarket stick shift stuff around for these. So auto was the next best thing. And I ended up going a Ford C4 because a guy had hooked me up on that, and I ran that for a little while before I put the Turbo 400 in it.
Word, okay. Well, shoot, man, I think that kind of wraps it up. I say that we get a camera in here and go for a ride. It's crazy. I've never ridden in this thing.
Really?
So
that's awesome.
I'm definitely excited. I've seen it drive on the road a ton, but I've never ridden in it. So I'm excited to ride in this thing, dude. Yeah, of course, dude. Whenever.
Yeah, we can do
a couple of them.
I got the draggy hooked up. I can do a 60 to 130.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. See how it does in this weather.
Oh my God.
I was spinning on a 433, 60 to 130. We were hazing there for a while.
Dude, holy oh my gosh, bro. It was like, for a second I'm like, okay, and then it just, dude,
yeah,
threw
well,
me right back.
Once it hooked, I hit the scramble, because on the street it doesn't hook very well, so I'll have it go to like 28 pounds, and then I'll scramble to 40 when I hit high gear. So I hit third and then scramble to 40 pounds.
Dude, holy crap. That's crazy, bro. What is wild to me is that a little 6-cylinder is doing that, dude.
Yeah.
Holy moly. I bet at the track it's freaking wild.
Yeah, so that was a 433. On the track, it averages 3.2 to 3.3. So a whole second faster. Because I'm 40 pounds off the rip.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
I mean? Versus here, I'm not hitting 40 pounds until third gear, which third gear for me is like 120. So I'm really only seeing it at the very end of the 60 to 130 car.
Dude, holy crap, man.
You want me to do it again or not?
Yeah, let's do it again.
A short one?
Yeah, that's fine. Holy crap, bro.
I didn't even feather that time. I just let it haze.
Yeah, dude. Holy moly, dude. That is so sick. All right, guys, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. And Dean, if anybody wants to find you on social media, where can they do it? Tell us where you're at.
So I have Instagram, Double Z Racing. I have Facebook. I even have a TikTok, I think it's Double Z as well. I mainly use Facebook, and I have a page dedicated just to this. It's called Double Z. You can find everything on there. I kind of keep that updated with all my racing and car show stuff and all that.
Perfect. Well, yeah, guys, I'm going to put the links in the description below so you can easily find that. But, yo, thank you so much for doing this, man. It's been fun. So make sure that you like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.